greenhouse. Today it's the end of April 2019 and today I just wanted to give you a little tour of my garden before everything happens. We are in Norway in zone 3 here and it's my first season gardening, so I'm really excited. I did have a balcony last year. Hello birdies. Yeah. I did have a balcony last year in Oslo, but it's a bit different when you have a greenhouse and you have a big garden and everything, so yeah. The first place I want to show you is my greenhouse. It's a greenhouse which is 12.5 square meters and it's in glass. And the sun goes up right over there and it goes down there. So I do have sun pretty much all day, which is perfect because in here I'm gonna grow tomatoes. So I actually moved out all my plants today and it's a bit scary because we can still have frost at night, but it hasn't happened in like a couple of weeks, so I'm pretty sure they'll be fine. And they will be covered by a fleece as well. So I'm gonna grow tomatoes in here and maybe something else. I do have a chili pepper inside as well, which is gonna move out in a couple of weeks because that's my little baby from last year actually, which just survived the winter. This greenhouse is, as I said, 12.5 square meters and it has 4 openings. And it's really important that when you have a greenhouse this size, because it's quite small, it's really important that you have 4 openers. And if you don't, it will get really warm in here. Even now in the end of April, we've had like 40 degrees in the greenhouse with the door closed, obviously. So yeah, it will get warm. And yeah, I just wanted to show you a little bit what I've planned in here and what's in here at the moment. Here you can see that I have some cabbages and cauliflower and broccoli, which are sown here in the greenhouse in January. I think, or maybe it was February. I do also have some potato plants here. And they moved out here last week of February and it has been frost, but I've covered them with fleece, so they're coming up nicely. They'll probably harvest in like a month or so. Here are some of the plants that I moved out. You can see that they need to move out now because they are getting quite tall. I also had some runner beans. So just as an experiment, they're gonna move here for a bit and hopefully give at least some beans. I do also have some bell peppers. And you can see that they're starting to flower really soon. This is a red variety, which is like a pointy one. These vegetables over here, this long bed, I sowed in, I think it was February as well. And this is varieties that will stand the cold really well. So you have Chinese cabbage, you have lettuce and spinach. I did actually sow some carrots as well. And here's a little sunflower, which I'm just gonna let continue to grow and then move it outside when the time comes. It's for my birdies. Well, it's not mine, but you know. Here we have radishes. And to be honest, I don't think they look so nice. Like, they don't look what I expected them to do. I expected them to look like quite green. Like some people say you can eat the leaves, but I'm not gonna do that, to be honest with you guys. Here we have some dill. And it also has a red salad. Here you have my celeriac celeriac roots. I think that's how they're pronounced in English. So they are sown in early January, actually maybe late December 2018 as well. And they are going to move outside. I'm going to show you the beds, the raised beds a bit later. So here are them. Here are some more things that I've sown. These are leeks. They are sown inside, also in January. And yeah, they're looking nice. So winter sown tomatoes. They are obviously quite small still, but they might come. I hope. We'll see. And we have some more Chinese cabbage. They are also winter sown. I sowed them, I think I sowed them in March or something, so they're not that wintry, but yeah. Some more leeks. I do sow, I'm gonna try and find a good example here. I do sow my leeks in clumps, and I will plant them out in clumps as well. And the reason why I do that is that I will save space. So you can see there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 in this one. That might be a bit too much, but I will plant them with a lot of space between each clump, so they will have the space to grow. And I will obviously also give them some fertilizing, like a lot of fertilizers, so they'll survive. And it's obviously all organic fertilizers that I'm using. I'm not using anything like store-bought and chemically. Over on this side, here by the way is where my tomatoes and peppers will go now, under a fleece, just so they can get used to the light, because it's quite bright outside, especially when the sun is out. So yeah. Here we have coriander. I just watered them so they look a bit like maybe it was a bit heavy. This is sown inside as well, and I moved them out in the weekend, like a few days ago. And they are so tasty. I've never tasted anything like it. Like, I love coriander, but it's really hard to get it like totally fresh and organic. So yeah. Here are some more lettuce. They're really cute. I did, when I sowed, I'm gonna just move the camera a bit. When I sowed cabbages and kales, I wasn't sure how many plants they would survive because I winter sowed them, so I sowed a lot, and I kept 5 of each just to make sure, but I didn't want to throw them away, the other ones, so I thought I'll leave them here in backups, and it doesn't take much space to keep one of these little trays with a few backup plants. And if I'm not gonna use them, I'll just cut them down and have them in a salad or in a stir fry or something like that. Over here are some sunflowers that I meant to sow. This is a few different varieties, and yeah, I hope they're gonna be beautiful. I have one is called Red Sun and one is called Valentina. So yeah, they're gonna obviously attract a lot of bees, which I love. Here we have some onions. I've sown, like I planted out a few already in the bed. I'll show you. So these are what's left, and you can see they're really good. They're quite thick. This is called Alicia Craig, this variety here, and it's actually sown inside, and it was inside for a couple of weeks before I moved them out a few weeks ago. Excuse me. Here you can see some broad beans. You have seen in a different video on the channel that, like, how I sowed them. I'll link to that in the description. I have some more spinach. And these guys you've already seen on the channel as well. It's cabbages, and you can see they've grown a lot. So when I planted them out, they were only like a few centimeters tall. Below here you can see some more lettuce, and they are actually sown there, and I just moved them when they were really small. So yeah. So now I want to show you outside. I have 6 raised beds in total, In the ones with hay, I'll have brassicas this year, so broccoli, cabbages, etc. In this bed that I have covered with fleece, I've already sown parsnips, and this is the bed where the leeks and the celeriac will be planted. And it's quite early still, so nothing has popped up yet. In the other bed that is covered with fleece, I have already sown carrots. These two beds over here will be for onions. And in this bed, I've dug down Bokashi compost earlier in the spring. In this bed, I planted yellow onion Alicia Craig and a pink onion long red Florence. And again, as you can see, they're sown in clumps. Over here is where I'll have some of my peas, and I'll make something for the peas to climb on, like a trellis. I've sown the peas in these paper pots, which I'll make a how-to video and post on this channel as well. It's easy to plant them as the pots just will be composted naturally in the ground. This bed is a work in progress and I'll have strawberries here this year. A few weeks ago I planted out rooted potatoes and they've been in the greenhouse till now, and they'll be ready to harvest really early in the summer. On the other side of the greenhouse I have most of my seedlings, cabbages, onions, and I also have lots of beetroot. A purple pak choi I'll plant into individual pots this weekend. More broccoli and loads of radishes. Over here I have some of my winter sun vegetables that will be ready to harvest mid and late May. And my garlic is looking fab. I'll add some more mulch really soon. In the middle here I'll have a trellis for my climbing beans, and they'll be planted together with beets. In this bed I'll have summer squash, and I have 3 plants of a yellow squash growing inside the house as we speak. Behind the garage it used to be a massive compost heap, and it used to look like this and this. This year I'll grow mainly potatoes back here, but also more peas. And we'll make a teepee for them to climb on. Something like this. Before I planted out the potatoes, I rooted them inside for a few weeks. In the corner here, I plant a butternut squash, which can climb over this fence. And on this side, I've planted Jerusalem artichokes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again really soon.